Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review, and now I'm looking at R-Type 3, the third Lightning for the Super Nintendo. And like other R-Type games, it's a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up, and the first one was probably did more for introducing the idea of extra weapons than any shooter. I think I'll pick that one. You got different weapons depending on which of those probes you actually pick, and that's a nice effect. And you've still got the charge, but you can keep it held down for a second, filling up of the meter, and let out an even bigger beam. Whereas the previous games only allowed you to fill up that meter once. You can keep the button held down to fill it up a second time. And as you can see, I've got these options familiar to players of the previous game in the series. Now, YouTuber John Gage had just played this on his 100th live streams, and it spurred me to give it another whirl as I've got it in my library, and I hadn't played it for a while, so I wanted to give it a whirl. I think I'll put that on my backside. Actually, I didn't really need to do that because of the gun I picked. No. I love the music in this. I recognise this theme as being a very recognisable R-Type theme. And these are the way these lasers work is that they fire exactly away from where your ship is. So if you want them to fire immediately behind you, you've actually got to get in front of them like that. So they can fire in pretty much any direction as long as you're positioned correctly. So it makes it reasonably easy to get things that have been beneath you. But don't get me wrong, though, this is still a pretty balls hard game, as with the other R-Type games. So it generally plays with the familiar, although you can actually fire. You can actually get all sorts of different other weapons because of the different types of options available at the start of the game. Here's a bit of mode 7. That bit at the bottom that's revolving is actually a background, and literally everything else on the screen at that point is a sprite. Even the score and even everything at the bottom display. You do get the occasional moment to slow down. I mean, but by and large, it manages to keep the pace fairly reasonably well. Even the charged weapon changes. That was different how it was at the beginning, but which gave me a burst of more powerful firepower. But now I have to wait for it to cool off before I can charge it up again. That's the downside with this particular one. I think I've just picked up another life. I think that's what that sound effect means. I haven't played this for quite some time, so I'm probably going to be quite a bit out of practice. Oh, this is just incredible. More bit of more Mode 7 coming up here. Again, the bits of the bits that are revolving are a background. Everything else is on the screen is a sprite. Even the stars in the background, even the life marker, even the beam and score at the bottom of the screen. Mode 7 only manipulates backgrounds. So even if you think something's being manipulated by Mode 7 is a sprite, it definitely won't be. Oh, a little bit of slowdown there. There was a slight drop in frame rate. And all things considered, this first level is wildly difficult. Boom, pancakes, he says, and then dies. Have I reached a decent checkpoint? That's the big question on my mind. Ah, that's not too bad. Trouble is, I don't have my option anymore. Come here, option. Probe. I think it's for probe in this game. So get to marvel at this bit of gratuitously showing off with Mode 7. I think I'm going to put this on my backside from this cable. Yeah, actually, because that weapon fires backwards as well, it's not quite such an issue, but you still have to position your ship carefully. Oh! I should have used the charge and taken them all out in one go, shouldn't I? This is going to be hard without the weapon I had before I died that first time. But like I said, it's an R-Type is in pretty much all forms is a pretty hard game. So you can really release it soon if you want. It just won't be as powerful. It's contact with the actual ship itself that causes damage. The probe couldn't touch anything and not. I keep mistiming it. Another thing is I've lost all the speed power-ups that I had before I lost that first life. I jinxed myself by saying this level's not too hard, didn't I? But I am still enjoying it. Ooh, crikey, that was close. And if you wish, you can hold down the X button if you wanted to keep rapid fire going. So if you don't mind for having a period in which you won't be able to use your charge your beam weapon, then you can just hold down the X button and it will do a rapid fire of the main cannon. So that can help save wear and tear, not to mention not tiring out your thumb. but the Y button, which I'd normally be using for firing, is still the. I think I'm going to use my beam weapon here. Yeah, that was what I should have done last time. I'm going to do it again for this because this is way for the kill. Yeah, that's done it. I'm going to charge it up again just in case. That's better. I'm going to put that on my nose now. Do I think that those that bit in the foreground interferes with the action too much? No, not really. What I'm looking at, it's going by so fast, it's not nearly enough to obscure. Oh yes, that'll give me a little bit of protection from above. There we go, boss time. Here we go. So now I've got to figure out what this thing's going to do. This is using the boss is using mode 7 as well. It's not obvious at the moment, but it will be in a moment. Oh. There you go, save mode 7 to rotate it. I can't remember what it did, it's been so long since I've played this. You can only hit it when it's at a very specific point in the foreground. Oh! Now I can hit it. Oh, bit of slowdown there. Oh, crikey. Oh, bloody hell, that was close. Music's cool here. Again, those shots only hit you if they make contact at a very specific point in the foreground. Right, I'm going to charge it up and hopefully be ready for when it's at the. Oh, crikey! Got it. Charging up was just the right thing to do there. Bye bye. Nice explosion. You really want a decent sized explosion when you've taken defeated a boss, because then you really feel like you've got a sense of accomplishment. Not like in those Star Evil games on the NES where it just straight away took you to the next level. That was pathetic. You didn't even get a satisfying explosion. In fact, in most cases, you didn't get an explosion at all. Oh, this is amazing. Oh god, I could have done with that. Oh! Oh, crikey. Ah, that was cool. Oh, this is really worrying me now. As you can see, those acid drops are burning away the scenery. Oh, I misjudged that completely. I think I'm going to end the review there. I don't want to give too much away, but it is a really, it's a really good game, all things considered. I mean, yes, it is balls hard, but then it's an R-Type game, so you expect that. But I've played much harder, more unfair games than R-Type 3, I assure you. So graphics, really nice. There's some bits that you saw that made good use of Mode 7, and even without Mode 7, they're really well drawn and animated. And and sound and music are really cool as well. Some familiar tunes from previous R-Type games you may have heard in that first level, and so I'm just going to get this. I'm not talking over that music. Nice. Yeah. So sound effects are really good too. Plenty of really nice meaty sound effects and explosions, and some great music in there as well. And gameplay, it's responsive, which is good, and if you're familiar with the previous R-Type games, then then the extra bits and bobs aren't too much of a chore to take on board, such as holding the beam weapon down to charge the meter up a second time. Don't think once you've filled it up, that's as far as it'll go. It goes one step further in this. And the fact that you get 3 different types of probe, which change the different weapons available to you. But if you wanted to stick with the classic R-Type one, which is the first of that on that list that you saw earlier, then that's there as well. If I did have one complaint, obviously there are maybe quite a few, more than a few people find it a bit too hard, and it does have some elements where, as you saw, the frame rate dropped, particularly when there was quite a bit going on the screen. But I still think that this game's worthy of 8 out of 10 for. It's just really a slow down at times, in the difficulty level that really prevent me from being able to give it a 9. But it's still a satisfying shoot 'em up, and if you want something that tests you, then look no further. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.